5 crazy ancient weapons you've never even heard of. Man-catcher. The man-catcher was one of the strangest weapons in history, often used in city streets rather than on battlefields. It was one of the few medieval weapons designed to capture someone without hurting or killing them. Most man-catchers were simply wooden sticks with a two-pronged fork at the end, though some had spikes to cause injury. They were mainly used by night watchmen and guards in medieval towns to pin down troublemakers until help arrived or they calmed down. Barnock. The barnock, or tiger's claw, was an unusual weapon invented in India. Its exact origin is unknown, but it became popular with the Nihang Sikh warriors after 1500. The barnock was a type of knuckle duster with 4 or 5 metal claws, easily hidden in the palm, and used for slashing opponents. Nihang Sikhs often carried them in their turbans as hidden weapons and sometimes used them in battle. The barnock was also used for surprise attacks and even assassinations. A famous example is when Emperor Shivaji used a barnock to defend himself and K.L. General Official Khan during a meeting where both had agreed to be unarmed. Caltrop. Although it might seem like an obscure weapon today, the caltrop has been used effectively for nearly 2,000 years. In its simplest form, a caltrop is a piece of iron with 4 equally long points arranged so that one point always faces up when dropped. This design made it easy to scatter them over a large area without much skill. The first known use of caltrops was in the Roman Empire, where they were used to disrupt horse-drawn chariots across Europe. Although their use decreased with the invention of gunpowder, caltrops were still occasionally used. They served as anti-personnel weapons in battles, such as the Korean War, to prevent ambushes and have even been used in the 21st century to disable vehicles. Bill hook. Evolving from the agricultural bill hook, this martial version of the bill hook became quite popular during the late Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Its straightforward design and versatility made it a favored weapon among many poor soldiers and conscripted peasants. Although its appearance varied greatly across Europe, it remained a multifunctional tool. The weapon featured a broad, curved head that could be used for slashing, similar to a glaive. Additionally, it had a small hook on the end, which was useful for catching the edges of armor plates or pulling opponents off their mounts. Later versions of the bill hook even included a long spike on top, allowing it to double as a spear or pike when needed. By the 1500s, the bill hook had largely fallen out of favor across Europe, replaced by the pike and the arquebus as preferred weapons. Fletched javelin. Many people know that javelins were widely used in ancient Greece and Rome. However, it's less known that javelins continued to be used throughout the medieval period and beyond. Medieval javelins were more advanced and accurate compared to their ancient predecessors. These medieval javelins, often called fletched javelins, had feather fletchings at the bottom of their shafts to stabilize them in flight. They were constructed differently from traditional javelins, using lighter and less durable wood but with larger and heavier heads to cause more damage upon impact. They were particularly common in the early medieval period but gradually fell out of favor as the longbow and crossbow became more popular. Fletched javelins were also used in other parts of the world. In the Americas, native cultures employed a tool called the atlatl to throw javelins. Similarly, ancient Greeks used a leather sling to launch javelins, though this practice ended well before the medieval era.